Okay, I wanted to share with you a quick sequence that I'm cleaning up here. And if you watched the other video, you may have seen the extra sheet of paper pop in and out on a few occasions. And what that is that I've been using this brush pen that technically I don't think is refillable, but it's pretty easy to refill. You can open up the pen and put in some India ink, and it keeps the pen nice and refreshed. So every so often, as it starts to dry out a bit, I'll just get my India ink with the little dropper and drop a little ink in there. But you can see here again, there's the dual sheets or the cutout sheets where there was additionally the characters were on separate pages, and instead of redrawing them, because the posters themselves were pretty good, just cut the paper out and then tape it together. And that's something you can only do if you know you're going to be cleaning up the drawings later. And here, what I noticed was that her pose was pretty much the same on both of those sheets. And I think at some point I had thought about actually notating that I could just hold her drawing instead of redrawing it over and over again. And so this is definitely one of those moments where I should have really double checked the X sheet, or actually I should have revised the X sheet to note that her pose doesn't change, so I wasn't redrawing this over and over again. Because even though visually I managed to actually keep this pretty consistent, which, I mean, I don't know, sounds kind of bragging, but I'm a little proud of myself. However, towards the end, this very end, I started to realize, like, wait a minute, this pose doesn't change at all. And then I kind of looked back at the animatic and noticed, like, yeah, that pose is not really changing. But also, it's just a notation to anybody that's animating. In the process of doing your rough animation, and even if you can manage to do some tie downs, really pay attention to keeping your lines as consistent as possible, so you don't get in a situation where in some of these drawings that I kind of got a little bit free and loose with the line work, and so every once in a while it might look like, at least to me, it looks like there's some movement, when in fact it's really just the act of drawing really rapidly and just kind of indicating lines from like trace backs and things that I really didn't go back and do the due diligence of notating and saying, let me fix that in the notations in the X sheet, so I'm clearly aware that this doesn't need to be redrawn again. So use really good planning workflow methods so you don't end up doing extra work, because you could be effectively using that time for something else more valuable. But just like this guy, I'm happy and excited. So a little flip through to show you some of the progress on that. So one of the pluses is that at this point, I think I'm averaging about 10 to 12 of these drawing of these frames per day, which is not too bad for the two characters, although it's just, mostly headshots. I mean, that for me, that's still a pretty good output. And I'm hoping that pretty soon I'll get a little bit faster as well. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and you have a great one.